Newcastle United have reportedly turned down the chance to sign Jesse Lingard this summer. And in this video, I want to talk a little bit about Jesse Lingard. I want to talk about why Newcastle have turned down the chance to sign him, and also how this could affect Newcastle on a broader scale going into the summer window. Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Hope you guys are all enjoying the lovely sunny weather we're getting on this weekend. Just popped back in from the garden. Thought I'd do a video about Jesse Lingard and the Newcastle summer transfer window. I should say, if you are enjoying these videos at the moment, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Getting really close to 30,000 subscribers, and I know loads of you guys are watching my videos but still haven't hit that button. So if that's you, please do. It really helps the channel. Right then, so Jesse Lingard is leaving Manchester United this summer after over 20 years at the club. Now, he was there from a kid. I think he joined when he was 7 or 8, and now is walking out there on a free transfer. He was a part of the first team for around 10 years, making over 230 appearances across all competitions. I think it was 35 goals he scored for them. So, he spent a long time there. And to be honest, the treatment he's received in the last couple of years from the club hasn't been great. I mean, just at the time of recording, he's left the club just a couple of weeks ago for the final time, and it's reported that he wasn't allowed to say goodbye, he wasn't allowed to thank the fans, and again, it's a bit of a sour taste after spending 20 plus years of your life at a club like that and not being allowed to, say thank you through the club as well. Most recently, Jesse Lingard is known for that fantastic half a season spell that he had at West Ham. He joined them in the 2021 January window on a loan deal, played 16 games, scored 9 goals. Went back to Manchester United in the summer. There was loads of speculation on whether West Ham would then pick him up and buy him on a permanent. It never really happened. I understand that Jesse Lingard wanted to go back to his home club and prove himself. At the time, Ronaldo had just joined the club as well, and the chance to play alongside, arguably one of the best players ever. You can see why he wanted to take that chance at Manchester United, but again, he wasn't used. He didn't really get that chance and pretty much spent another full season on the bench. Which takes us to the January window in 2022, where Newcastle were hoping to sign Jesse Lingard on a similar basis of what he did at West Ham previously. Obviously, he hadn't had much game time throughout the season, and it made sense that he would head out on loan. But again, Manchester United didn't want to let him go. They wanted compensation. I think they wanted 7 million from Newcastle if we had him, and then we stayed up for 3 months. I think it was working out at like 500 grand a game or something because of how ridiculous those costs were. And again, Jesse Lingard, I believe, has come out and said, that he was not allowed to go, which is a real shame for the player. But that brings us to the present. And this summer, Jesse Lingard is now on a free to do whatever he wants. It's becoming quite a popular thing for players to actually try and wind down their deals, because it means they can basically go anywhere and pretty much get paid whatever they want. You think, had Newcastle or any team or West Ham paid a fee for Jesse Lingard in the January, what are you looking at, 20, 25 million, previous to that. After the West Ham spell, maybe even 40, 45 million, which would have gone to the club. Now Jesse Lingard can, in theory, ask for 30 million for himself and put that all into his wages, put it all into his signing on fee. And it's for those reasons there why Newcastle have reportedly turned down the chance to sign Jesse Lingard this summer. It's understood that he is asking for more wages than Newcastle are prepared to part ways with. It's understood that he's asking for around 150 to 200 grand, and again, fair play to the guy. He's on a free. He's got loads of clubs interested. He's 29 years old as well, 3-4 year contract could well take him into the end of his career, so he's going to try and get what money is available on the table. There's loads of clubs interested, mainly in Italy. AC Milan, Juventus, Inter Milan, Roma, Newcastle obviously were interested. I understand West Ham are interested, and it's understood that he wants to go to a Premier League club, so it will certainly be interesting to see how this one works out. In terms of the player, I think I was pretty 50-50 on Jesse Lingard. I think he could have been a great addition in terms of he knows the Premier League, he knows how to bring the ball forward, he can be quite creative as well, and he can certainly score a goal. On the other side, we haven't seen too much of him. Again, he hasn't had loads of football. The last time we've seen him was West Ham, last season. But let me know your thoughts on Jesse Lingard down below. We could still potentially bring him in. It's not dead in the water, this one. We could still change our mind. But let me know your thoughts down below. And I mentioned that I wanted to open this up on a wider scale. Newcastle have turned down the chance to sign, what I think is a decent player. Whether he's worth 150 grand a week is a different conversation. If you want to compare it to Newcastle's current wage bill, I understand that the likes of Shelvey, Joe Linton, Almiron are all on around £80,000. I understand that Trippier was the new highest paid player on around 100 grand, and then you've got Bruno Guimaraes, who I believe is the highest paid player on around 110 to 120,000. So you could open it up and go, well, Bruno's on 120, why should we pay Jesse Lingard 150? But again, going back to the fact that we had to pay 45 million for Bruno, Jesse Lingard would cost nothing. So yes, the player wage would be higher, but the overall spend would most likely be less due to the fact that we wouldn't have to actually pay anything for him. Which is why it opens up the broader question as to how Newcastle plan to operate this summer transfer window, because you think about players that we're being linked with right now, like Nunez, for example, being linked with Barcelona, PSG, and then over in England he's being linked with Liverpool, Manchester United, Newcastle. You've got to think that a player like that and being linked with some of these clubs is going to flat out demand a wage of 200 grand plus. And if our plan is to not pay anyone over 120,000 like what Bruno's on, how much is that going to impact our summer transfer window? It could be that Newcastle just didn't want to give Jesse Lingard 150 grand, and that's very possible. But the way it's coming across in the media is that Newcastle are just trying to be very careful about their wage bill, which is a good thing. But again, it opens up that question heading into this summer window, being linked with some of these high profile targets, especially strikers. They always come in with a high fee, high wage. You want them to score goals. And when we're competing with some of these other teams like Manchester United, like Liverpool, like some of these European sides, that will potentially, inhibit us from bringing in some of these players. And it will be interesting to see what happens this summer. Like all Newcastle fans, I'm very excited to see what we'll go out and do. Obviously, we've got some money to spend, but I think they are being careful with it. And I think they're being careful in terms of, making sure they get the money's worth. They want to get a good deal on the player. Eddie Howe's spoken about this a lot. I don't think we're going to just go out and spend 100 million on a player for the sake of it. We might do, but it sounds more like we're trying to be clever about where the money goes. I think there's two sides to that. A, from a financial point of view, but B, I also think that going out and buying a player on 200 grand a week changes potentially the changing room dynamic, because again, I've mentioned how much everyone's getting paid at the moment. Trippier could turn around and go, well, I think I'm worth 200 grand, I want it as well. So straight away, you're not just paying one player 150 or 200 grand. All of a sudden, Trippier wants that as well. Guimaraes wants that as well. Then you've got like players who have been here for a long time. I know Sean Longstaff's looking to sign a new deal. He was probably on 20-30 grand. He's signing a new deal on 50, 60. He's like, well, he's getting 200. And this is where things in the changing room just get out of hand, and I think they're trying to be careful over that, which, to be honest, is a good thing. Again, look at Dan Burn. He's come in. I wonder what he's on. Maybe 50, 60. Sign a new centre back. He's on 200. Well, hang on. So, I do see why we're being careful, and at the end of the day, I think it's a good thing. I think that is the way we should be, and I know things will 100% change over the next few years, but just for the right here and now, as we kind of, again, in the words of Eddie Howe, evolve this squad as players slowly leave on lower wages and players come in on higher wages, will slowly, that line will slowly go up like this, as opposed to one day it's just there and we've suddenly got to start signing new deals for everyone. I think it's clever that we take that time with it, but again, that doesn't mean that it could potentially cause some questions of what we are going to do this summer. So let me know your thoughts down below. Obviously, it's all very hypothetical because I'm not sat in the room with the owners telling me what's going on, but I'm just trying to pick up on what's happened here and possibly read too much into it. So if you think I'm completely wrong and you think we will go out and spend whatever we want this summer, let me know that down below. If you think the owners are maybe trying to be a little bit careful about how they handle things and their first full summer window, let me know that as well. Let me know if you think Jesse Lingard would have been a good signing or if you think we've dodged a bullet there. Alright guys, thanks for watching as always. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back on Monday night for the home game against Arsenal, final home game of the season. All the videos will be up for the vlog and everything else, so be sure to subscribe and look out for that. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.